You're sitting at your kitchen table, the glow from your laptop screen lighting up your face. You just opened a retirement calculator, and the number staring back at you feels like a punch in the gut. $1.2 million. You glance at your savings account, $87,000. Your chest tightens. A little voice in your head whispers, it's too late. You think about all the years that slipped by. The kids, the bills, the house, the unexpected things life threw your way. You tell yourself, if only I started earlier. Everywhere you look, you see reminders that you're behind. Articles saying start investing in your 20s, advisors preaching about compound interest, friends your age already planning their dream retirements. And you're wondering if you missed your chance completely. But here's the truth no one tells you. You haven't missed your window. You're not behind. You're actually entering a stage of life where your advantages can work faster, stronger, and smarter than they ever could at 25. Sure, time is shorter, but your focus is sharper, your earning power is higher, and your distractions are fewer. This isn't about catching up to who you used to be. It's about building something powerful with what you have right now. Think about this. Someone in their 20s might only make $40,000 a year and can barely save $200 a month. But at 50, you might be earning $80,000, maybe even $100,000. That means you can realistically save $2,000 to $3,000 every single month. That's 10 times the power. And that's where your story changes. Let's look at the math, because the math is what makes this real. If you save $2,500 a month for 15 years and earn an average 7% return, that becomes about $635,000. Add in your home equity, your 401k, and your Social Security, and you're sitting on a foundation that can give you real security. You don't need millions. You need a strategy that works for you now. And here's something most people overlook. Your expenses are probably lower now than ever before. Your kids might be grown. Your mortgage is close to paid off. You're not buying diapers, paying for daycare, or filling your closet every season. You're not in the building stage of life anymore. You're in the optimizing stage. That means every dollar you save now has more freedom to grow. You've also got something 25-year-olds can't even fake: clarity. You know what truly matters and what doesn't. You're not chasing new cars or trendy gadgets. You care about freedom, health, security, and peace of mind. That focus is your biggest weapon. And then there's the secret advantage no one talks about: urgency. When you're 25, you think you have 40 years. You delay, you procrastinate. But when you're 50, you know the clock is ticking. That urgency becomes your superpower. It pushes you to act, to plan, to commit. And that action is what changes everything. Let me tell you a story. A woman I met, let's call her Linda, was 53 when she realized she had only $12,000 in her IRA. She'd spent years raising her kids and taking care of her family. When she finally looked at her finances, she felt sick. She told me she almost didn't start investing at all because she thought it was pointless. Then she met with a financial coach who said, if you save and invest consistently for 15 years, you could easily end up with over $700,000. That flipped a switch. Linda started maxing out her 401k, tracking every dollar, and cutting expenses that didn't matter. 5 years later, she had $247,000 saved, and more importantly, she had hope again. She told me, at 53, I thought my financial life was over. But I realized it's not about when you start, it's about starting. So if you're sitting there thinking it's too late, remember this: a too late is just a feeling, not a fact. The truth, the only people who are truly too late are the ones who never start. You're not competing with who you were at 25. You're competing with who you'll be at 65. And your future self will thank you for starting today. Because once you understand that this stage of life isn't your downfall, it's your turning point, everything changes. In the next part, we'll dig deeper into your real advantages after 50, the things that actually put you ahead of the game. Because trust me, you've got more power than you think. Here's where everything changes. Because now that you've stopped believing it's too late, it's time to see the truth. You actually have more power than you realize. Building wealth after 50 isn't about playing catch up. It's about using the unique advantages that only people your age have. You've lived through decades of experience, lessons, and mistakes that taught you what actually works. That's not a disadvantage, that's wisdom. The first big advantage you have right now is peak earning power with fewer expenses. Most people in their 50s are earning the highest income of their entire lives. You've spent years climbing the ladder, building your skills, and proving your value, and that translates to higher pay. According to labor data, the average person's income peaks between 45 and 54. And unlike your 30s or 40s, you're not juggling endless costs anymore. Your kids are older. The house might be nearly paid off. You don't need new furniture or another car every few years. You've already built your life. Now it's time to harvest the rewards. Here's a simple but powerful shift. Every raise you get from now on, even small ones, goes straight into savings or investments. No lifestyle upgrades, no bigger vacations, You've already earned comfort. Now you're buying freedom. If you redirect even $2,000 a month from your income into a retirement account, that can grow into over $600,000 in just 15 years at a 7% return. That's the power of your peak earning phase. You can do in 15 years what it takes others 40 to achieve. Your second advantage is clarity. When you're younger, you spend money chasing status, approval, and stuff you don't really need. At 25, people are trying to prove something, that they've made it. But you've already lived that phase. You know what really matters now: peace of mind, health, family, and the freedom to live life on your terms. That clarity allows you to focus every dollar and decision toward what truly matters: security and freedom. And here's the third advantage: you can take smarter risks. Most people think being older means you have to play it safe. But that's not true at all. When you're 50, you actually have more control, not less. So you have decades of knowledge, connections, and perspective that a 25-year-old can't buy. You know what's realistic. You can spot scams and bad advice from a mile away. You've seen markets rise and fall, and you understand how to stay calm when everyone else panics. That kind of emotional stability is priceless in investing and business. Maybe you've always dreamed about starting a side business, consulting or freelancing. Guess what? That's not risky anymore. That's strategic. You have the credibility, the experience, and the wisdom to make it work. A 25-year-old might be figuring things out. You've already figured out what you're good at, and now you can turn that skill into income. Your fourth advantage is something I call ruthless simplicity. At this age, you don't have time for games, noise, or confusion. You're not chasing crypto hype or stock tips from TikTok. You want what works. You're done with overcomplicated investment strategies and get-rich-quick promises. You're focused on simple and proven systems, maxing out your 401k, contributing to your IRA, living below your means, and investing consistently. The beauty of simplicity is that it removes confusion, and confusion is what keeps most people broke. Think about it. If you just focus on the basics, automate your savings, and avoid emotional decisions, you'll outperform 90% of people who are constantly chasing the next big thing. You don't need fancy, you need consistent. And here's the secret no one tells you: your urgency is your superpower. That pressure you feel, that little voice that says, "I don't have time to waste," that's the fuel that can change everything. When you're young, you procrastinate because you think you've got decades ahead. But when you're 50, every choice matters, and that urgency forces you to act smarter and faster than ever before. Let me leave you with this. Being 50 doesn't mean you're behind. It means you're in your power decade. You're at the perfect point in life to make bold, smart moves that set you up for real freedom. You've got the money, the mindset, and the motivation. Now it's about strategy and execution. You can't rewrite the past, but you can absolutely redefine your future. Because wealth isn't built by the people who started early. It's built by the people who never quit. And if you're reading this, that means your story isn't over. It's just getting good. Now that we've talked about your advantages and the mindset shift, let's turn all of that into action. Because information means nothing if it's not used. And the truth is, no matter where you are financially, you can start building wealth right now, even from zero. You just need the right system. Step one is simple but non-negotiable. Get control of your cash flow. Before you can build, you need to know what you're working with. Most people think they need more money to get rich, but the truth is they need more control. Print out your bank statements, track where every dollar goes, and identify the silent leaks: subscriptions you don't use, unnecessary upgrades, impulse buys. You'll be shocked how much wealth you're giving away in small, mindless decisions. Once you plug those leaks, you'll instantly free up cash. That cash is your seed money, the foundation of your wealth. Even if it's $200 or $300 a month, that's your first building block. You don't need to make massive sacrifices. Just redirect the flow. Remember, wealth doesn't come from big jumps. It comes from small, consistent redirections. Step two, build multiple income streams. This is where your experience becomes your weapon. You've probably spent decades in one field, mastering skills that others are willing to pay for. So think about this. How can you turn what you already know into income? Maybe you can start consulting, tutoring online, freelancing, or creating digital products. There are people making thousands every month, teaching simple Excel skills, career tips, or even cooking tutorials, all from home. AI has made this even easier. You don't need to be a tech genius. You can use free tools like ChatGPT to write blog posts, create ebooks, or draft online courses in your area of expertise. Platforms like Canva help you design materials in minutes. You can sell your work on sites like Gumroad, Etsy, or Fiverr. The internet has removed the gatekeepers to now you are the brand. Step three, invest like time still matters, because it does. Many people over 50 think it's too late to invest, But they couldn't be more wrong. Compounding doesn't just reward those who start early, but it rewards those who stay consistent. Even a 10 to 15-year investment plan can transform your finances. Let's say you invest $1,000 per month in an index fund that grows at 7% annually. In 15 years, you'll have nearly $300,000. That's not luck, that's math. The secret is to invest automatically. Set up recurring transfers so the money moves without emotion. Don't wait to feel ready. So wealth isn't built by the most talented, it's built by the most consistent. Step 4, own something. The wealthiest people aren't just workers, they're owners. Ownership is the key to long-term freedom. It doesn't have to be huge because it could be real estate, dividends, stocks, or even a small online business. The goal is simple: create assets that make money while you sleep. Because the day your money starts working for you is the day you stop trading time for survival. And finally, step 5, protect and pass it on. True wealth isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you keep and share. Build an emergency fund, clear debt, get good insurance, and create a simple estate plan. That's how you protect your peace and legacy. You've spent your life learning. Now you get to make that knowledge count for your family and the next generation. You see, wealth after 50 isn't about speed, it's about direction. You don't need to catch up, you just need to move forward. Because every day you choose discipline over doubt, every dollar you invest instead of spend, every skill you share instead of hide, you're rewriting your story. And maybe you started late, maybe you've made mistakes. But let me tell you this, so did every wealthy person you admire. The difference? They started anyway. They didn't wait for perfect timing. They made their timing perfect by acting. So here's your truth. It's not too late. It's finally time. Time to stop feeling behind and start stepping ahead. Because wealth isn't measured by when you start. It's measured by when you decide to never stop. The clock isn't your enemy. It's your wake-up call. And the next chapter of your life, it's not about survival anymore. It's about freedom.